Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News starts now.
Thousands of people who have been impacted by the PG&E power shutoffs will be compensated. We'll tell you how much they could be receiving from the utility company.
A newly released video shows what possibly caused the Getty Fire in LA. We'll have the latest on efforts to contain that wildfire.
And a former wrestler does his part to help firefighters. We'll tell you who he's calling on to lend support to first responders. Good morning. Thanks for joining us for 23 ABC News at 6 a.m. I'm Danielle Kernkamp.
I'm Mike Hart. Glad you're here. Let's bring in we're going to go outside. Let's go outside right now to see what's happening out there. A lot of wind this morning out there.
We have viewers commenting on our Facebook saying they were driving from Arvin to Bakersfield. Dust is so bad that it looks like fog out there.
Yeah, 23 ABC's Daniela Garrido joining us live near the Garces Circle with a look at just how bad it is. Daniela? Okay, we're going to go to weather right now, because we're having a problem. See, the wind apparently is affecting the microphone.
She was just checking it, So she's out there. She was at the museum this morning trying to do Safe Halloween, and it was too dusty. They were worried about their camera falling over with wind gusts.
Bad.
So keep in mind when you're watching her shot, the camera actually has such a good iris. It makes it look better than the naked eye.
Our roof camera just keeps moving.
Our roof camera is shaking and driving.
Yeah,
so you can also see the trees blowing there. So when we're talking about winds here in Bakersfield, it's 25 to 35 miles an hour. Our friends in the mountains are like, psh, we got that. They're talking about some 45 to 55 mile an hour wind gusts, even faster over those mountain peaks. But you guys, this is dangerously dry air. It's cold air that's coming in. And here on the valley floor, winds that fast, even though you hear 35, you think it's not much, could lead to more blowing dust down in Arvin and the base of the Grapevine, base of the 58. That's where the biggest threat for blowing dust is today. But we could also have blowing debris as well. That includes fallen trees and tree limbs and light items like palm fronds, patio furniture getting tossed around. So this is a very dry pattern. That's why we are sunny, but that fire threat includes our South Mountains and even comes here into the valley floor with a wind advisory for Bakersfield, the city itself. We don't see that very often, so we don't like the bad air out there. We don't like the blowing dust, and we don't like these winds. It is very dry, and that fire threat continues for our mountains. Look at the temperatures. Oh my gosh. So that icon is automated. Look how it says it's raining. That's because of the blowing dust. It's picking up on the hydrometers of the dust particles and thinks it's rain.
Oh,
that's how bad it is. So let's go to Daniela and see how she's doing out there near Garces Circle.
I can totally see how that radar would pick that up. You guys mentioned something that I thought was really interesting, that when you're driving outside this morning, it looks like it's fog, but it is dust. And really, I didn't notice until I walked out of my car and I couldn't breathe. I mean, that dust was hitting my face. It was really getting in my mouth. It was getting in my nose. It was getting in my eyes. I can still really feel it in my eyes. And so right now we're on 24th Street and Chester, and really you can tell that traffic is picking up. And I would say if you are getting in your car and you're going to be driving to work this morning, you're going to see those wind gusts really pick up debris, and it almost seems like it's coming in phases. Like it'll die down and then pick back up, but when it does pick back up, it pretty much rustles everything. It'll rustle the trees, it'll rustle the leaves that are on the side of the road, and it'll get on your windshield. So definitely, if you don't have to be outside, I wouldn't recommend being outside, but if you are outside, having something to cover your mouth would definitely help. And if you are driving in your car, just be paying attention to those roads. So I'm going to send it back to you guys now.
Well, now to the latest public safety power shutoff from PG&E to affect Kern County. Power's out in Lebec due to another public safety power shutoff as a result of extreme weather conditions with high fire danger. The assistant superintendent for the El Cajon School District has said since it's unknown when the power will be restored, El Cajon Middle School will be closed today. Right now on the PG&E website, it lists one outage in Lebec affecting 621 customers. And we have updated numbers on the SoCal Edison public safety power shutoffs affecting Kern County. Right now, nearly 5,300 customers in the Tehachapi, Bear Valley Springs, and Stowland Springs areas are without power, and more than 22,000 are under consideration for possible shutoffs. In all, Southern California Edison considering shutting off power to more than 300,000 customers.
Yeah, and because of those safety shutoffs, we are seeing some school closures this morning. Here on the Alert Line website, it is showing that all Tehachapi Unified School District schools will be closed today in the best interest of student and staff safety. We're also seeing that for Valley Oaks Charter School, power is off at both sites in Tehachapi. Those sites will be closed until power is restored. All activities are going to be canceled for that school as well. We're also taking a look at some other outages in Tehachapi right now. According to the Southern California Edison website, there are 3 outages, one in Bear Valley Springs and one in Tehachapi, and another in an unincorporated area of the county. In total, there are about 5,000 people that are without power right now. These do not appear to be related to the PSPS. We're going to continue following this throughout the morning as well.
Well, meantime, Pacific Gas and Electric has announced it will give out a bill credit to customers impacted by the October 9th public safety power shutoff. According to a press release from PG&E, residential customers will get a $100 credit, businesses a $250 credit. Officials say they're only issuing that credit for the October 9th PSPS due to issues with their website and communications. PG&E clarified it in a statement by writing, "We recognize our execution in these areas fell short of expectations. We have taken steps to reduce those issues going forward." The utility went on to say customers do not need to take any action to get the credit and should see it on their next billing cycle. Officials say the funding will come from their shareholders.
The Getty Fire that has burned more than 600 acres and destroyed homes was started by a eucalyptus tree limb that fell into power lines, which sparked and ignited nearby brush. This is video of the fire along the 405 freeway from Monday night. Mayor Eric Garcetti announced the cause in a press conference, emphasizing there's no evidence of arson and that the cause was accidental. LAFD had done tree and brush clearance in that area as recently as July in an effort to keep power lines clear. The Getty Fire was 15% contained. It's burned more than 600 acres as of last night. However, the National Weather Service issued a rare extreme red flag warning for Southern California through later this evening, saying winds could top 80 miles per hour and be the strongest in more than a decade.
Plus an update on another fire burning. The Kincaid fire up north has scorched more than 76,000 acres and is just 15% contained. Up in Sonoma County this morning, a critical time for fire crews as gusty winds are picking up. Cal Fire says so far the Kincaid fire has destroyed 189 buildings, including 86 homes, and more than 80,000 structures still remain threatened. Many of those also homes. About 156,000 people remain under evacuation orders after about 30,000 were forced out of their homes on Monday.
And take a look at this. Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti giving a shout out to Los Angeles Laker LeBron James. These are some pictures that he posted on Twitter saying, "Thank you, King James, for generously sending a taco truck to support our LAFD firefighters, first responders, and partner agencies working to fight the Getty Fire." And another familiar face also lending a helping hand, Guy Fieri. He lives in Santa Rosa and he showed up in Sonoma County to feed some of the firefighters battling the Kincaid fire. Of course, this is not the first time that we see Fieri do this. We also saw him helping out firefighters during the campfire as well.
And let's keep that going. Actor and former wrestler John Cena is calling on Paramount Pictures to help him donate $500,000 to LA area fire departments.
I want Paramount to do me one favor. I want them to pick a charity. Pick a charity that aids our first responders as soon as possible. And on behalf of Playing with Fire, and out of respect to the people that I truly believe are heroes, my response will be to immediately donate $500,000 to this cause.
And Paramount stepped up. They picked two organizations for Cena to support. The LA Fire Department and Cal Fire Foundations will split that $500,000 donation. Cena, of course, portraying a firefighter in the upcoming comedy Playing with Fire. The wrestler turned actor said fire crews in California inspired the donation. Multiple fires are raging in northern and southern California.
Apollo 13 astronaut Fred Hayes will be at Edwards Air Force Base today to talk about his career with NASA. He served as a fighter pilot in the U.S. Marine Corps before piloting several aircraft with NASA. He was the lunar module pilot on the Apollo 13 mission and a backup spacecraft commander for the Apollo 16 mission. His presentation will be at the Edwards Air Force Base Theater at 2 p.m.
Well, teaching kids to go green's not an easy task unless you have a superhero. And the Eko hero has not left Kern County just yet. It's Mr. Eko. Yeah, the superhero's flying into El Camino Real Elementary School in Arvin this morning. Now, every show, we've been talking about this for a couple days now, is performed with the philosophy that every kid can change the world. Mr. Eko teaches a variety of topics that include waste reduction, recycling, and litter prevention. He'll be performing in two separate assemblies at 8:30 and 9:30. There you go. All right, let's bring Elena back in. Oh, that's a whole lot of warnings.
Oh, it's a lot to cover. Yes, so here in the valley, we have a wind advisory. Not often that you see Bakersfield included in that. We're talking about some 35-mile-an-hour wind gusts closer to the base of those mountain passes and into Arvin. We're talking about gusts to about 45 miles an hour. That's where we will most likely see our blowing dust for the day. And we're already hearing some reports from viewers that it is dusty out there and visibility is reduced for drivers. As you head up into the mountains, even faster winds, critically dry, and that red flag warning is in effect all day long. But this is colder air that's rushing in. So with that, look at how tonight we have a hard freeze warning for the desert locations. So with that, we also have air quality alert concerns. The air quality alert itself continues because of wildfire smoke and blowing dust. We mentioned that more blowing dust is expected today, and it doesn't settle until tomorrow. As those winds finally die down, we get a little bit of onshore flow coming Friday. With that red flag warning today, it's in the mountains until midnight. Critical fire weather conditions all day. And then that hard freeze warning tonight that I mentioned for the desert, the coldest temperatures 3 to 9 a.m. tomorrow morning out east. But look at these winds for now, already picking up 21 miles an hour in Bakersfield. Doesn't seem like much. It's enough to cause some issues for our drivers for the morning commutes, leaving us at 57 right now. Further out away from those winds, look how it's colder and in the 40s. So this is cold air rushing in. We're only talking about the 60s here on the valley floor today, maybe 70 in Arvin because the winds are compressing and warming up. But with winds, it'll feel colder than it actually is. So grab those windbreakers and sweaters as you head out the door this morning.